Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So in the news right now, Ripple's cryptographer and software engineer busts FUD, revolving around Ripple and XRP point by point. People in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, more often than not, considered XRP as a centralized cryptocurrency, which is one of the major FUDs surrounding Ripple, XRP, and the XRP ledger. Ansel Lindner, a Twitter user, put out a tweet stating a few things that are kind of ridiculous, and you can read them here. A few things are blatantly absent from Ripple XRP. Robust academic research, many identifiable people in the community. Oh, God. Mailing list where a number of respected cryptographers discuss. Like, these points are quite ridiculous. If anybody has been following Ripple and XRP for more than, even 6 months, you would know that all these points can be taken down systematically. And that's exactly what Nicholas Bougalis did. This was addressed by Ripple's very own cryptographer and software engineer. And so he busts the FUD, guys. I'll leave the article in the description. Wanted to talk about this article. XRP price jumps 11% after IMF praises Ripple, says banks will be cannibalized. Strong words, nevertheless, sounds about right. And as you can see, Ripple did, or rather XRP did jump. We were hovering in this demand zone here. And so this was the zone that we were in. By the way, this is XRP on a hourly chart. And then yesterday, out of the blue, we saw a big line of green and the momentum kept going up. And now we're starting to see a downtrend. But guys, don't fret quite yet. Let's get back to the article here. Regarding Christine Lagarde's comment, the price jump follows news that Ripple's rival Swift will link R3's core to settler, which uses a distributed ledger to settle transactions between traditional assets and cryptocurrencies such as XRP. It also comes after a new endorsement of Ripple's endeavors from International Monetary Fund IMF Director Christine Lagarde. At the Paris FinTech Festival, Lagarde warned banks that they need to act and adapt to new technologies to better serve their customers. I think in the banking, and this is the quote from Christine Lagarde, I think in the banking system at large in many, many countries, the difference will not be between those who are disrupted and those who survive. The difference will be between those who are cannibalized because they're not seeing it coming and they're not embracing it, and those who self-induce that cannibalization. Boy, that is a striking picture to paint for these stubborn banks that don't want to change. And I'm using cannibalization on purpose because it's a bit of a striking, horrible word. Right, but it's really what it means. You're going to disrupt your business model, you're going to change it, you're going to reduce your costs, you're going to expedite your transactions, and you're going to inspire confidence because you will build out on the basis of an existing backbone, which is your bank and the confidence relationship you've established with your customers. So that's where I see changes happening now. If you think of Circle and Ripple and all those, that's where they are active and helpful. So Christine Lagarde, sweet on Ripple, sweet on XRP, of course, as we know. But guys, looking at this, it's not the best trend that we're seeing at this moment in time. If you look at the overall market, everything is still kind of doing the same thing. I feel like because of the XRP uptick yesterday, we saw some other coins follow. And I feel like that is almost kind of the sentiment. Whenever there is some movement in some coin, we see some other coins follow, which is kind of a bit of a unique phenomenon, if you want to call it that. Whereas, before we would always kind of see Bitcoin be the leader of the pack and always kind of make the impression first. And I feel like that is only because it's the most popular. But in some cases, we have seen certain coins move and then other coins follow just because I feel like everybody in the crypto space is getting a bit restless. And so they just want to see their coins move. So there was a fairly significant 11% gain yesterday, peaked out about 0.342 cents. Right up here, and now we're seeing a downtrend. And so does this mean we're going to make new lows? Well, that's a good question. Working Money channel, will we make new lows? It's really hard to say for sure. So now I've put XRP on the daily here, okay? And you can see, so I had originally stated in a video 2 days ago that the demand zone, or the level of support that we need to break to form new lows for the bearish trend to continue, needs to be between 25 cents and 30 cents. That is my That's how I'm calculating it, okay? Again, zones are a range of numbers. There isn't just one number that it needs to break. Whenever these supposed technical analysis experts tell you, well, it needs to break this number, that's really pinpointing it very, very specifically. There's a range. There's always a range. 25 to 30 cents is what I'm calling it, okay? And that brings us from roughly here, okay, to here at the end of the wick here. I mean, technically, or rather, sorry, no, let me zoom out. Sorry, not there. From here, roughly, so that's about 30 cents to down here, okay? The end of this wick here is roughly 25 cents, 30 to 25. This is the key level of support that we need to break to make lower lows. And so after a lot of bullish momentum yesterday, now we're seeing some bearish movement. Volume is kind of high, but not higher than yesterday's volume, which is good. Will there be an uptick today? Well, right now, a lot of this stuff is based on the news, and so that doesn't really give a stable foundation for a bull run, unfortunately. It's all a matter of how many people want to buy and sell any particular crypto asset at that moment in time. I don't know if you guys saw the Modern Investors video. I'm just going to bring it up here. So this is the video here, how to start the next bull run. I'll link it in the description. It's definitely worth a watch because he does talk about really fundamentally what you need to do in order to create a bull run. And since this market is so fragile and so small, and basically the bull runs we have seen in the past have been FOMO bull runs, basically people hearing about crypto, jumping into crypto, and pumping the price. We can do that again. And so it's kind of a theoretical video. And it obviously can't happen because you need everybody on board to be buying. Nevertheless, he's got some good ideas there. And so ultimately, when we say we need to break levels of support or resistance in order to go bullish or bearish or what have you, ultimately, these numbers are numbers that people finally have said, enough's enough. This is the cheapest price. I'm buying now. And so if enough people buy, compounded on top of news, compounded on top of, maybe the socio-political climate of the day, we can see price movement. And so that's how markets work, ultimately, in a nutshell. Another thing we need to remember, if we do come back down and base into this zone yet again, that will create a weaker zone. And so chances for price to bounce off it and go up again are relatively good. So what do we need to see now? Well, we need to break this price point here on this candlestick here. That's about 40 cents. Need to break 46. Need to break 57 ultimately. Well, this one would be first, 53, 57. These two are fairly close together. So let's call these ones the really significant prices that we need to break to confirm bullish movement. Ultimately, though, this is the biggie up here, okay? That was from the bull run back in September after the word of XRP was being released. 79 cents. And then, of course, we need to make higher lows as well. So once the lows, and of course, we will see lows, or rather lows should be dipping in levels of old resistance. So then the lows should roughly form around here, let's say. And then ultimately, when we see this as a low and we see XRP basing here and then keep going up from there, definitely a confirmed bullish trend. Right now, though, let's keep our eye on the prize. We're not out of the woods yet, although the trend could reverse at this point. In the meantime, guys, I would watch the Modern Investor video. He's got some really good insight there. Watch the video and let me know what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.